Hey guys, we're back. We had a question from one of our favorite subscribers in the UK, Adam. And your question was separation anxiety. And Adam, that falls back into the category of everything's the symptom of a bigger problem. The separation anxiety is a symptom of the bigger problem. The bigger problem generally being the dog feels like it can control the people. You know, not because, oh, it just loves them so much. It feels like it can control the people, and then when it's left in a situation where it can't control them, the dog gets very frustrated and does all those behaviors. So again, symptom of the bigger problem. We have to work on the bigger picture instead of micromanage just that behavior. So if you can get the dog collar conditioned, that's going to help a lot. But what you've got to do is have them be able to take responsibility for their part in the separation anxiety. So what a lot of times people will do, Mommy will be back, oh mommy, 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 da, 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 da. They get the dog all hyped up, then they leave. So now this becomes the precursor to the dog, that they're getting ready to leave, hence they're not going to be able to control the people. So it's a lot of frustration, barking, and I mean we've seen every type of separation anxiety where the dog, you know, foams. I had these people one time, this has been years ago, but with this Weimaraner, they actually had to put Visqueen around the cage because the thing barked and frothed and foamed so much that these people were actually held prisoner in their house. You took the dog collar condition and it got better, 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 and you want to be able to get where you can down the dog in the cage. But the other thing, you've got to make sure they're very specific about how they act when they come home. If they come home and say, Mommy's home, did you miss Mommy? Da, 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 da. Again, now we're setting it up. Now the dog is hyped up, waiting for that, you know, thing. Now the people are letting it out of the cage. So a lot of things you need to do. They need to crate the dog when they're home. And a lot of people don't want to do that. We'll only put it in there when we leave. If they'll put it in there when they're there, you know, again, we're going to create the better behavior in the cage. If you can get the dog, and that's going to be a little ways down the road, where you can down it with the nick, that's going to help a lot too. But I want you to think of the separation anxiety symptom of the disease, not the disease itself. Generally speaking, the disease is the dog feels like it can control these humans, albeit it's not that great at it. But now when it's put in a situation where it can't control them, it's very frustrated. So they need to act like nothing when they leave. Hard as that is, they need to just leave. And when they come home, they need to just come home, not rush right to the dog or whatever. Because that's what people do. They come rushing in, let the dog out, then the dog says, now I can control them again, yada, yada, yada. And then the same thing happens again the next day. So, I don't know, we've had a lot of dogs that we had that people had them on the Prozac and all that stuff for the separation anxiety. Or there used to be this drug, I can't remember what it was called. It had come out, but a lot of people used it. But I got to tell you, we never saw any difference. It was real expensive, but we never saw any difference in that. So you've got to make sure the dog's in a cage you can't break out of. Have them crate the dog when they're home, even if it's just for an hour or 2 hours. Make sure they have very, you know, when they leave, they just leave. When they come home, they just come home and ignore the dog for, you know, 15 or 20 minutes at least. And then collar condition the dog for obedience, because that's going to help a lot of that go away. Anyway, Adam, I hope that helps. See ya.